कुंज विहारे जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदना व्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदना व्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुनतिरावनचार यमुनतिरावनचार जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यमुनतिरावनचारी यमुनतिरावनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe. Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishwabada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shridwan Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ananta Koti Vaishnavvranda Ki Jai Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naranjaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadresha Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter number 21, text number 15. Tatha sa chaham parivodhu kamaha tata sa chaham parivodhu kamaha tatha cha chaham parivodhu kamaha समानशीलं गृहमेधधेनुं समानशीलं गृहमेधधेनुं समानशीलं गृहमेधधेनुम् उपेयिवां मूलम् अशेषमूलम् उपेयिवान् मूलम् अशेषमूलम् उपेयिवान् मूलम् अशेषमूलम् दुराशयः काम दुघङ्ग्रिपस्य दुराशयः काम दुहाङ्ग्रिपस्य दुराशयः काम दुघाङ्ग्रिपस्य तथा स चाहं च परिवोढुकामः समानशीलं गृहमेधधेनुम् उपये विवामूलमशेषमूलम् दुराशयः कामा दुगाङ्घ्रिपस्य तथा स चाहं परिवोढुकामः समानशीलं गृहमेधधेनुम् उपये विवामूलम् अशेषमूलम् दुराशयः कामा दुगाङ्घ्रिपस्य तथा च शाहं परिवोढुकामः समानशीलं गृहमेधधेनुम् उपयेयुवान्मूलमशेषमूलम् दुराशयः कामधुगाङ्घ्रिपस्य तथा स चाहं परिवोढुकामः समानशीलं गृहमेधधेनुम् उपयेयुवान्मूलमशेषमूलम् दुराशयः कामधुगाङ्घ्रिपस्य तथा स चाहं परिवोढुकामः समानशीलं गृहमेधधेनुम् उपयेयुवान्मूलमशेषमूलम् दुराशयः कामधुगाङ्घ्रिपस्य तथा च चाहं परिवोढुकामः समानशीलं गृहमेधधेनुम् उपयेयुवान्मूलमशेषमूलम् दुराशयः कामधुगाङ्घ्रिपस्य तथा चाहं परिवोढुकामः समानशीलं गृहमेधधेनुम् उपयेयुवान्मूलमशेषमूलम् दुराशयः कामधुगाङ्घ्रिपस्य. What word meaning? Tatha, similarly, saha, myself, cha, also, aham, I, parivodhukamaha, desiring to marry, samanashilam, a girl of like disposition, grihamedha, in married life, dhenum, a cow of plenty, upayevan, have approached, moolam, the root, lotus feet, ashesha, of everything, moolam, the source, Durashayaha, with lustful desire, Kama Dhugha, yielding all desires, Angripasya, of you who are the tree. Translation purport by Srimad Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: therefore, desiring to marry a girl of like disposition, who may prove to be a vertical cow of plenty in my married life, to satisfy my lustful desire, I too have sought the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the source of everything, for you are like a desired tree. Translation with repetition. Therefore, desiring to marry a girl of like disposition, who may prove to be a veritable cow of plenty in my married life, to satisfy my lustful desire, I too have sought the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the source of everything, for you like a desired tree. Purport: in spite of his condemning persons who approach the Lord for material advantages, Kardamuni expressed his material inability and desire before the Lord by saying, although I know that nothing material should be asked from you, I have never the desire to marry a girl of like disposition. The phrase like disposition is very significant. For formerly, boy and girls of similar disposition were married. The similar natures of the boy and girl were united in order to make them happy. Not more than 25 years ago, and perhaps it is still present in India, used to consult the horoscope of the boy and girl to see whether there would be a factual union in their psychological conditions. These considerations are very important. Nowadays, marriage takes place without such consultation, and therefore, soon after the marriage, there is divorce and separation. Formerly, husband and wife used to live together peacefully throughout their whole lives. But nowadays, it is a very difficult task. Kardamuni wanted to have a wife of like disposition because a wife is necessary to assist in spiritual and material advancement. It is said that a wife yields the fulfillment of desires in religion, economic development, and sense gratification. If one has a nice wife, he is to be considered the most fortunate man. In astrology, a man is considered fortunate who has great wealth, very good son, or a very good wife. If of these three, one who has a very good wife is considered the most fortunate. Before marrying, one should select a wife of like disposition and not be enamored by so-called beauty or other attractive features of sense gratification. In the Bhagavatam 12th canto, it is said that in the Kali Yuga, marriage will be based on the consideration of sex life. As soon as there is a deficiency in sex life, the question of divorce will arise. Kardamuni could have asked his benediction from Uma, for it is recommended in the scriptures that if anyone wants a good wife, he would Shri Radha Krishna Nitai Gaurang Srila Prabhupada. Kardamuni could have asked his benediction from Uma, For it is recommended in the scriptures that if anyone wants a good wife, he should worship Uma. But he preferred to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead because it is recommended in the Bhagavatam that everyone, whatever is whatever he is full of desires, has no desires, or desire for liberation, should worship the Supreme Lord. Of these three classes of men, one tries to be happy by fulfillment of material desires, another wants to happy by becoming one with the Supreme, and another perfect man is a devotee. He does not want anything in return from the personality of Godhead. He only wants to render transcendental loving service. In any case, everyone should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for he will fulfill everyone's desire. The advantage of worshipping the Supreme Person is that even if one has a desire for material enjoyment, if he worships Krishna, he will gradually become a pure devotee and have no more material hankering. This is a Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanushalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnuvadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pavshati Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter number 21, conversation between Manu and Kardama Muni. So, previous few shlokas we are discussing about. So, Kardama Muni underwent a penance, tapasya, and he worshipped the Lord. He performed the devotion, services to the Lord. And Lord is pleased by the penance of the Kardama Muni and appeared. And Kardama Muni able to see the Lord face to face. So he said when Kardama Muni actually realized the Supreme Personality Godhead in person, he has gradually satisfied because his transcendental desires were fulfilled. He fell on the ground with his head bowed to offer obeisances unto the lotus feet of the Lord. His heart naturally full of love of God, with folded hands, he is satisfied with the prayers. And later on what Kardama Muni say, the great sage Kardama said, O Supreme Worshipful Lord, my power of sight is now fulfilled, having attained the greatest perfection of sight. The perfection of sight is by seeing the Supreme Lord, who are the reservoir of all existence. Through many successive bursts of deep meditation, advanced yogi aspire to see your transcendental form. So great sages do a lot of tapasya to see you, O Supreme Lord. Now I am able to see you by my own eyes. So perfection of eye to see the beautiful form of the Lord. So I got it, that I attained that. Then your lotus feet is the true vessel to take one across the ocean of mundane nuisance. Only person deprived of their intelligence by the spell of deluding energy will worship those feet with a view to attain the trivial and momentary pleasure of the senses. which even person rotting in hell can attain. However, O my Lord, you are so kind that you bestow mercy even upon them. So, Kardamani further say, less intelligent persons are approach devatas, demigods, for some material benefit. One are very intelligent and they approach devatas, and those by those benedictions they get some momentary pleasure, and those pleasures are available even who are there in hell. So, oh my Lord, you are so merciful, you bless even to those people, even. And so now in the previous verse, the Kardamani say, so the less intelligent people approach for some material benefit. So same Kardamani here say in next. So, oh my Lord, you bless all those people who look for the material benefit. Therefore, I desire to marry a girl of like disposition, who may prove to be a veritable cow of plenty in my married life. To satisfy my lustful desire, I too have sought the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the source of everything, for you are like a desire tree. After Kadamani telling, so this material approaching is not good, a less intelligent person. Then again Kardamani is asking for one, I want you desiring for marry a girl is a like disposition, who may prove to be a veritable cow of plenty in married life. So a wife is considered free cow. Cow supplies many things, many useful things cow supplies. Similarly, a wife of veritable cow, I mean, comparing, a wife also can do many things good to a husband. There's a meaning of here. So, Prabhupada writes the purport. In spite of his condemning persons who approach the Lord for material advantage, he condemn by approach for the material gain. Kardamuni expressed his material inability and desire before the Lord by saying, although I know that nothing material should be asked from you, I have never desired to marry a girl of like disposition. So, a pure devotee generally don't ask anything from the Lord. Because a pure devotee already, because here Kardamuni already had the darshan, the vision of the Lord. After the vision of the Lord, again Kardamuni desiring for some material benefit. So many places Bhagavatam he discussed about okay, one is had the darshan of the Lord, one is realized the God is all material desires shall vanish. No more material desires. Now here Kardamuni. So that is the reason in the Bhagavatam we learn many things. So many things we mentally concoct and conclude something. But Bhagavata gives the example such that now we may think here, okay, Kardamuni is desiring some material benefit, okay, after darshan of the Lord is the reservoir of all the happiness. There is no superior happiness that one have the darshan of the Lord, all the material desires vanish. Still he is asking for some material benefit. Something is a very contradiction. So, answer to this question, Prabhupada writes in a few verses later on why this happens like this. And Kardamuni also telling here, One who is asking for the material benefit, even from the devatas or from the Supreme Lord, he is not intelligent. Because Kardamuni is sinful of knowledge. It is not something, okay, it's a lack of knowledge. Out of ignorance is asking, no. So, what is the reason behind why Kardamuni is approaching? We'll understand in future some verses. And some more things Prabhupada speaks in this purport. You see? So, you say here, Prabhupada say, the phrase, like disposition, you say, the desiring to marry a girl of like disposition. Prabhupada say, like disposition is very significant here. Formerly, boys and girls of the similar disposition were married. The similar nature of the boy and girl were united in order to make them happy. Similar like disposition means of the same nature, same character, same qualities, guna. They should get married. Then there is a life is happy. Then there is life. So Prabhupada furthermore said, not more than 20 years ago, and perhaps it is still in current in India, those times, the Prabhupada times, certainly in current in India. Parents in India used to consult the horoscope of the boy and girl to see whether they would be factually union in their psychological conditions. So Kali Yuga, Prabhupada mentions in Kali Yuga, in 12th canto, he say, Kali Yuga marriage is understanding between man and woman. A girl and boy, they like each other. Then there is a marriage, abhiruchi. Abhiruchi, okay, I like you. And the girl say, I like you, the boy. And both are like each other, and then marry the Kali Yuga. But here, Prabhupada say, in India there is match of horoscope. If the horoscope is not matching, such marriages will be cancelled. Not that marriage is not cancelled, even though everything is right. If the horoscope is not matching, then that marriage is not taking place in India. A few places are now also considered, but today also we also start following the Western culture. The normal marriage means attraction to the beauty of the girl or wealth of the family, or how much wealth or girl or boy you have in the wealth. And this is a consideration for selecting a girl or boy for a marriage. In ancient culture, because here also Prabhupada's talking about in the married life there is someone is very fortunate. So what are the things he say? One have the good health. In astrology, a man is considered a fortune who has great wealth, very good sons, or a very good wife. Is considered as a fortune. Of these three, one has great wealth. Yes, one who has a very good wife is considered the most fortune. So, if the wife is not very cooperative, even the other things are there, then again life will be life again will hell. Chanakya Pandit say about yasya mata yasya grahe nasti भार्या च अप्रियवादिनी अरण्यतेन गंतव्यम यथारण्यम तथा गृहम. Where is pleasing mother is there in home, or sweet speaking wife is not there, the my wife is not speaking sweetly, lovingly, for him house like a forest, better him to go to the forest. Chanakya. Because he not have a peaceful even though wife is there. So that is the reason. If you have someone as a good wife, then he is very fortunate. Prabhupada is mentioning here. So there are many quotes like this. Okay, because in a family, something is very important to have a peaceful life. Otherwise, actually, in the material world, there is no peace at all. In there is no peace in the material world. Still, some level of peaceful peace you want, then something is very important. So also say the a good. So here also say that her wife is compared here. Hardaman is comparing. Samanashilam grahamedha dhenum. A wife is compared to a cow, because cow supplies many things. Similarly, a wife also support in husband's spiritual progress and earning wealth also, and and she is very support emotionally also. In this way, wife can support in many ways. So if there is no fight in the family, so Chanakya Pandita makes one more statement here. Okay, Murkaha yatra na pujyante dhanyam yatra susanchitam dampatye kalau nasti tatrasi yahasyam agataha. Where is the fool is not worshipped, glorified, where a lot of grains are accumulated, and there is no fight in the between the husband and wife, then the wealth is will come off its own. So that's the reason here Prabhupada mentioning all these things. Okay, in a family life, okay, one is married, then equal disposition is very important. Is disposition. In equal disposition mean a wife and husband of the same character match each other. Otherwise, same home become very peaceless place. For him, spiritual practice is also very difficult. So there are also Chanakya Pandita quotes. Okay, there is a enemies in the family. Runa karta pita shatru. The father is enemy who have a lot of debts, loans. Runa karta pita shatru. Mata Shatru Bebicharini. Mother is enemy, Bebicharini. She has a relation to some another man. Putra Shatru Apanditaha. Your son is enemy. He is full number one. He not have any education. Rupavati Bharya Shatru. The wife is very beautiful. She also wife. Enemy. Because the wife is very beautiful. Then many other men are attracted to her, captivated. So such wife also enemy. So the Shastra also say the wealth of a woman is Sheela, or shyness. Shyness is the wealth of a woman. So today, particularly in Kali Yuga, people are lost in all these qualities. That's the reason we're not able to find a qualified partner who can support in spiritual life is very difficult. So here, it do not say that okay now it looks like what this particular was the Prabhupada write the purport. Okay, one is very fortunate who have the great wealth, the good son and very good wife. Then is very fortunate. So materially speaking is fortunate. So also further, Prabhupada said, before marrying, one should select a wife like disposition and not to be enamored by so-called beauty and attractive feature of the sense gratification. In the Bhagavatam 10 canto, it said that Kali Yuga marriage will be based on the consideration of sex life. As soon as there is a deficiency in sex life, the question of divorce will arise. If his wife is not very supportive in husband's activities, or then there will be divorce. So now further Prabhupada speaks in Kartu. Karda Muni could have asked the benediction from Uma, because Shastra also say, if you want some benediction, if you want some wealth, you worship Kubera. Or if you want rain, worship Indra. So many devatas for any material benefit, there is a different demigods are there. You approach those demigods. Then why Kardamuni is approaching Supreme Lord? So she says Kardamuni could have asked his benediction from Uma, for it is recommended in the scriptures that if anyone wants good wife, he should worship Uma. But he preferred to worship Supreme Personality Godhead because it is recommended in the Bhagavatam, Akama Sarvakama va Mokshakara Udhardi. One desiring whether he is full of desires, has no desires, or desires for revelation. And the Supreme Lord is to fulfill all the things. So now, one can approach the Lord, but Kardamuni selected only Supreme Lord for his benediction. Because Prabhupada also further say, of these three classes of men, one tries to be happy by fulfilling the material desires, another wants to fulfill happy by becoming one with the God, and another perfect man is a devotee. He does not want anything in return from the Supreme Personality Godhead. So a devotee don't ask anything from the Lord. Now even a devotee asks for, if someone approaching the Supreme for some material desires, even those desires will be purified. This is the benefit of approaching. For even the material benefit, one is approaching the Supreme Lord is the best. So Kardamuni is approached the Supreme Lord for the material benediction, because so if someone is approach a Lord with the material desires, one day those desires will be purified. I mean, you get rid of those desires and it become purified. Example is Dhruva Maharaj approached Supreme Lord with the material desires. After the Lord appeared, the Lord wanted to bless him. Because of the worshipping the Supreme Lord, all the desires will vanish and he become a devotee of the Lord. So here the Prabhupada say, the advantage of worshiping the Supreme Person is that even if one has a desire of material enjoyment, If we worship Krishna, we will gradually become pure devotee and have no more material hankering. Even when you have the material desires, you should worship Supreme Lord. Because worshiping the Supreme Lord, his material desires also fulfill, and at the same time, course of time, will be all the material desires will vanish and he will become a pure devotee. He no more hankering for material desires. So, Bhagavatam describes many situations how the great devotees are underwent. And Kardamuni's situation is not okay. Kardamuni desires for some material benefit. Because Mahatma Nastama Partha Devi Prakriti. The great devotees always under the direction of the Supreme Lord they act. Even though it looks like Ardhamuni is desiring for something materially, the reality is it's all the arrangement of the Supreme Lord to teach the common public. For them, it is beneficial for advance in spiritual life. In the material world, so many things common neophyte devotees undergo up and downs in spiritual life. So these are the examples set by the Supreme Lord. So we are prepared to face those things in future whenever the situation we come across. So Bhagavatam should be understood through the instruction of the acharyas and take it in a proper spirit. So Kardamuni is not like that, okay, he was hankering for some material enjoyment and setting the example for others to learn. Okay, I'll stop here, I'll continue. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.